Good morning, everyone. It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing fine on this. What is it? Thursday today? It's Thursday morning, guys, where I am here in Naples, Italy. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. The 19th of December, 6 days till Christmas, of course, guys. But more on the reason of urgency is the transfer window in literally 10 days, 11 days. I have counted one day less. But, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Really appreciate it. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Smash a like on the video. All that lovely cushy stuff. If you guys could do that for me, it'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me today. Of course, guys, thank you. Now, guys, you may have heard Manchester United are heavily linked with a move for Antoine Semenyo. Of course, Antoine Semenyo has been linked to Manchester United for a while now in regards to that winger position, that attacking position. Now, obviously, I've made my feelings clear on Semenyo. I admire Semenyo. I think he's a fantastic player. I think Semenyo would be a fantastic addition to Manchester United. However, when I look at Semenyo and I look at the priorities for Man United, and we have to look at this on a mature level, not on a let's sell football shirts level, let's get excited about a shiny new toy level. Man United have Cunha, Man United have Mbeumo. And I'm looking at where Semenyo will fit into this football team. Now, Semenyo traditionally is a right winger, right? He's not a left winger. He's a right winger, right? That is his favoured position. It's his favourite position. So when Semenyo broke through the ranks at Bristol City, right, he played on the right. And when he was playing for Sunderland on loan, he played on the right. And then he went, obviously, signed for Bournemouth in a £9 million deal. Now, this is my biggest question. Okay, so if we did sign Semenyo, and we are in talks with Semenyo at the moment to try and agree personal terms, of course, when you have talks with players, just because you agree personal terms doesn't mean the deal is done. You still have to do the deal with the team and stuff like that. Of course, guys, you have to do a deal with the actual football team, which is the most important thing, and strike a deal with the team. So Semenyo is in talks with Man United. However, as well, I would say that Liverpool are still favourites for Semenyo's signature. Liverpool are still favourites for Semenyo's signature. They are the more likely destination for Semenyo at the moment. But do not rule out Manchester United. Do not rule out Manchester United. As our great friend said, Fabrizio Romano once said, never underestimate Man United when it comes to transfers these days, because you know what? Are Liverpool an attractive proposition? I don't know.
Underestimate Manchester United. Never
underestimate Manchester United, and that's what it is at the end of the day. And Antoine Semenyo, guys, this guy, 25 years old, generational player, playing for Bournemouth, absolute phenomenal player, and huge admirer of his talent. I'm just concerned that if we spend 65 million on Antoine Semenyo, which I believe if it is about his release clause, if I'm being honest, if we pay about 65 million for Antoine Semenyo, will we neglect the midfield again? Now, I look at the midfield and I do have question marks, guys. We have not signed a decent midfield. When was the last time we signed a decent midfielder? I don't know, guys. Was Ander Herrera? Well, I mean, he was all right. He was good. But if we look at midfielders that have actually succeeded at Man United, it would be Michael Carrick all the way back, isn't it, guys? I don't want people throwing Pogba at me. That Pogba situation. My goodness me. I don't want to get the Pogba FC crew wound up again. But yeah, we do need to fix that midfield. Now, if Man United went in January, right, and they said, okay, right, we're going to buy a midfielder and Semenyo. Fantastic. Brilliant. Icing on the cake, so to speak. But if we just go and buy Semenyo and we don't fix that midfield again, it will be, I will be a little bit concerned as to which direction we are taking. Semenyo on left side, Ahmad on the right side, looks great on paper. Semenyo's a right footer. Again, it will be an inverted winger. Again, guys, we do need left footers on left side, right footers on right side. I think that will be a lot more better, if I'm being totally honest with you guys. I think the right and the left will be totally on it better. Guys, I come from that generation. Left on the left, right on the right. Adds more balance, if you know what I mean. Obviously, I would say, though, however, I would say in playing devil's advocate here, that Ahmad is not guaranteed a spot in that Man United future of the right-hand side. I'll say that right now. This is what I'm hearing. He's not guaranteed to be a Man United's right winger for the long term. That's understandable. I do think Ahmad is very limited on that side. I do think that, guys. I'm sorry, but I do. I like the player, but I just feel like Man United needs someone a little bit more. How would I say it? Tactically classy in regards to tactically aware and IQ. We take too much time on that right-hand side to get the ball in, to deliver the ball, to create chances. And we're we're very predictable at times, I would say, and the left side, guys. So Brian Semenyo is good to an extent where I feel like, yeah, all right, we bite Semenyo, but we have to get other players as well. But that's not to say we got Semenyo. I'm sitting here being all, high and mighty when the likes of Liverpool and Chelsea and Arsenal and all that are also interested in Semenyo. Liverpool are favourites at the moment, so we have to be aware of that. And I don't want to come on the show and say, we're going to get Semenyo. He is in talks with Man United. He may be in talks with other clubs as well. So we have to wait and see what happens by that and not get too excited, because you know what happens, especially with those Liverpool fans, they'll come back and slap us with a wet salmon, won't they, at the end of the day. But Antoine Semenyo to Manchester United, 65 million. Guys, I want to know your opinions. How do you feel about that? Look, as I said, I'm caught in two places at the moment. I said that I would love Semenyo if we had fixed the midfield first. If we fixed the midfield first, Semenyo would be great. Yeah, it would be fantastic. Brilliant. Man United will look pretty dangerous again, wouldn't they? Having Mbeumo, Cunha, Semenyo in that team, my goodness me, that is a dangerous forward line, if you ask me, to be honest with you. Now, of course, when we're looking at Man United going forward, we're looking at Bruno Fernandes. The question marks about Bruno Fernandes are all up in the air. There was rumours that Man United could cash in on Bruno Fernandes in January. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Man United are going to offload any players, especially Bruno Fernandes, in January. Man United do not have the squad to be selling any of their prize assets, so to speak. However, I would sing from the same hymn sheet as the Mainoo situation, because the Mainoo situation, of course, which we all know is ridiculous. Obviously, you had a Goldstein on TalkSport wearing the free Kobe t-shirt, and Kobe Mainoo liked the post, of course, which is absolutely embarrassing if you ask me. But in regards to these players, I don't think Man United are going to do too much business in the way of letting players go. Not now. This will be revisited in the summer. I would say that the whole interview of Bruno Fernandes, which I've watched, is not as bad as people think. They do. The problem with these kind of interviews, guys, is that they get these sound bites, these sound bites from these interviews, and they basically they highlight them, and they highlight them in these big bold letters. Do you know what I mean? And he said this, that. What this player said that. And, what I would say is that there was a lot of good that came out that interview with Bruno, and said that he did clarify how he cares about the football club and he wants the football club to win. He believes the football club can win. He wouldn't stay at Man United if he didn't believe the football club could win, and he didn't believe that in the project and stuff like that, of course. I do believe in moving up, though, moving forward. I do believe in the summer we should look at, moving certain players on. I think that's what Sir Alex Ferguson would have done. Bruno Fernandes obviously spoke about Xerxes and spoke about an example when he was on the pitch and Xerxes gave away the ball, and Bruno Fernandes turned around and started screaming at Xerxes, and he said, but he told Xerxes, you're better than that, basically. You're better than that, Xerxes. And Xerxes picked up his performances. Of course, when you watch Bruno Fernandes, obviously, when he's thrown his arms around, it does look a little bit like blame game, this, that, and the other. Of course it does, and body language is very important as well. At the same time, body language is very important. You have to look at body language. You have to look at the way people communicate with people, because at the end of the day, you don't want to give off the impression to your rivals that, look at them, they're struggling. Look at them, they're falling apart. Look at them, you know what I mean? And it would give your rivals a little bit of a boost, if you ask me. If you're throwing your arms around like if I was an opposition player and I saw Bruno Fernandes throwing his arms around and say, "Look at him, like they've lost it, mate. Don't worry." You know what I mean? And I would be like that. Of course, body language is very important, guys. And me, who worked in this sort of field for a very long time, guys. You're looking at 5 to 10 years. I worked in like this kind of field where body language was very important, stance was very important, and obviously communication very important. I know about body language, and I know what kind of message it sends out. Of course, guys. I understand Bruno Fernandes' frustration. Bruno Fernandes, of course, has been Manchester United's best signing post-Ferguson. Regardless of what you think, has been Man United's best signing. And I would say that it's been unfortunate that Bruno Fernandes has been at a team who have been unsuccessful, unachieving over the last, since he came to 8 years, since he came to Man United. And, that goes with a lot of players, though, in the Man United team that, they've come at a time when Man United are not at their best. Unfortunately, like if Bruno Fernandes came during the 90s, for example, he would probably be winning loads and loads of trophies. Of course he would, as would many other players. Luke Shaw are probably winning loads and loads of trophies as well. But the problem is that, Man United are in a moment now where we have to try and progress, and we have to try and move forward, and we have to try and move on from what has been and stop reading the same old chapters over and over again, if you know what I mean, if we're going to progress and stuff. So, Bruno Fernandes in the future, for me, he'll be a great football manager. I think he'll be a good manager. I think he's very motivational and stuff like that in the dressing room. As a captain, he's a little bit, but, I think he'll be a great motivator, So another thing about the Semenyo situation, and I want to know your opinions on this, guys, because I looked at the game against Bournemouth, guys, and one thing stuck out for me. Semenyo lost his temper, right? And Semenyo hit Dalot in the throat, right, guys? And basically, Bruno Fernandes, Dalot, all the Man United players didn't run to the referee, and they didn't scream for him to get a red card, scream to go to the VAR, go to VAR, like we would have done, like Bruno Fernandes would have done, he would have went to the VAR, look, the VAR, he hit him in the throat. No one did that. And that I sort of sat down yesterday and I thought about it, and I thought, maybe that's why Semenyo's signing for Man United. Maybe that's why Semenyo will go to Man United, because they didn't complain about Semenyo. They didn't try and get Semenyo sent off, And that thought, I thought maybe that, because obviously that will add ill feelings, and maybe if he signs for Man United in January, he won't be suspended. I don't know. But I would look at that. I look at things from all angles, of course, and my mind plays tricks on me sometimes. But I looked at it and I thought that Bruno and Dalot and the rest of the Man United team, to be fair, didn't complain one little inch. They didn't complain a bit, and I was like, hold on, why is not Bruno running up to that referee, like, like proper aggressively saying, where is the VAR? We need to check the VAR. That was a red card. Then I was thinking that might mean that Semenyo's going to Man United. I don't know. Maybe I'm putting 2 and 2 together and getting 10. I don't know, guys. But look, Semenyo, great player, probably one of the best players in the Premier League over the last couple of years. Of course he is. Man United would have Mbeumo, Cunha and Semenyo in the football team. 3 of the best performing attacking players in the Premier League. Now, can we get some good performing midfielders? Can we do that? Is that too much of a stretch? Because we have not signed any decent midfielders in years, guys. Can we please do it, please? I know we got Casemiro, but we got Casemiro on the latter stages of his career. Casemiro was finished, do you know what I mean, at the end of the day, guys, absolutely. But what will soften the blow of losing a player like Bruno Fernandes? Now, guys, many of us were vying for Bruno Fernandes, including myself, to be sold in the summer. But at the same time, I was looking at every single angle, and I was looking at it thinking, if we sold Bruno Fernandes, who is he going to be replaced with? Because we can trust them to sell Bruno Fernandes, absolutely no problem. But the biggest key question here was, who is going to replace Bruno Fernandes? And are they going to replace Bruno Fernandes? Because at the end of the day, I would much rather keep Bruno Fernandes than have nobody at all. Of course, guys, absolutely. Now, I know that the Man United fans get angry. I get angry. We get frustrated with him. We get frustrated with a lot of things, because we've been put through the mud over the last 10 years, haven't we? And it's understandable that Man United do have an element of frustration and anger and impatience, because we have been patient. A lot of the Man United fans have been patient, myself, and a lot of people out there have been patient. Us who have not called for the manager's head and screaming bald fraud at Erik ten Hag. None of us have been doing that, So we obviously think irrationally sometimes. We think irrationally sometimes, and we think like, you know what? If he goes, it's going to be better. If he comes in, it's going to be better. And that goes with Semenyo, that goes with Bruno, that goes with everything. We have to look at things diplomatically, and we have to look at things in a way that, will it benefit Manchester United? Because ultimately, that is what's most important for this football club is, who's going to come in that is going to improve Man United, that's going to get us to that next level. Do you know what I mean? Man United should always be challenging for the league. Man United, they own the Premier League. We have 13 Premier League titles, guys. Manchester United own the Premier League. So Man United should have the best players. Man United should sign Semenyo. Man United should have Cunha and Mbeumo. Man United should have the best striker. We should do. And to be honest with you, I don't understand the notion where, you know what I mean, Man United selling players. Oh, we can't sell this player because of this. We can't sell that player because of this. Man United should be coming and going. Man United should say, okay, he's gone, he comes in. Who comes in? He's gone, he goes, he comes in. And that's how it should be for me in regards to that. Absolutely. But Antoine Semenyo, interested to know your thoughts on it, guys. Very, very interesting indeed, of course. Now, on the backup, guys, on the backup, you may have mentioned you may have heard a few weeks ago that we were linked to a player named Kenan Yildiz. Of course, Kenan Yildiz has been linked to Arsenal. He's also been linked to Liverpool as well. Kenan Yildiz, who started off at the Juventus next-gen side of things in regards to the youth team of Juventus. He's a Juventus homegrown player. Kenan Yildiz is a 20-year-old guy who's broke into the Juventus team and been absolutely phenomenal and gone leaps and bounds. It is said that Manchester United have entered the race for Kenan Yildiz. Now, look, guys, I know. Look, if Man United manage to sign Kenan Yildiz and Antoine Semenyo, you'll be looking at things thinking, wow. Now, Kenan Yildiz would be an upgrade to what we got in regards to Ahmad. In regards to that, he's an absolute phenomenal player. He can play left wing. He can play right wing. He can play as a second striker as well, is Kenan Yildiz. The only issue with Kenan Yildiz is that he is a 75 million euro valuation player. And obviously, if Man United come in for him, it's going to cost around 80, isn't it? 80 million euros, something like that, around that mark. It is something that Man United can visit in the summer. Of course, Juventus are doing their thing, of course, in European football and stuff like that. So obviously, Juventus are not going to want to get rid of one of their prize asset, if not the prize asset of theirs at the moment. It could be in the summer, though. Juventus are in a position where they need to make some funds, guys, and they would be open to offers for Kenan Yildiz. Now, my opinion is we shouldn't just let the door wide open for Arsenal and teams like that to come in and get Kenan Yildiz, because Kenan Yildiz, in my opinion, is the top 5 young players in Europe at the moment. And I've said this for a while. When he played for Juventus Next Generation, when he played for them, I was saying that Kenan Yildiz, and people who watch Stretford Post will know that I mentioned Kenan Yildiz 1.5 years ago, guys, when it was in the youth team of Juventus, guys, right? And I would say that Kenan Yildiz would be an absolutely phenomenal signing. I mean, if Man United managed to do that deal, it would be absolutely fantastic. But for the life of me, I cannot see Man United doing a deal with Semenyo and Kenan Yildiz. I can't see us really doing that, to be honest with you. As much as it would be fantastic and it would be in the dreamland, if Carlsberg made transfers, it would be Kenan Yildiz and Anton Semenyo. Of course it would be. But I think I can't help but thinking that Man United would do one or the other. It'll be one or the other. Man United are looking at attacking players. Keith Smith is another player that we've been looking at, of course, guys, who Real Madrid are interested in, etc., who would represent a cheaper option than Kenan Yildiz. But Kenan Yildiz is the type of player, 20 years old, that you do not want to miss out on. The guy has 26 caps for Turkey, 5 goals. He's 20 years old, guys, right? Playing in that Turkey team as well. It's not easy to play in a Turkish team. And you know what I mean? No disrespect to Turkey, but they're not blessed with an array of fantastic players around. They got Arda Güler, they got obviously Kenan Yildiz. They do produce the odd one, you know. They do produce the odd player, though. They do produce the odd world-class player, if you ask me. And Kenan Yildiz is not world-class yet, but he's on the road to being world-class, in my opinion. And I wouldn't say no to Kenan Yildiz. Now, as I said, guys, in regards to the profile of player that Man United are looking for, Man United are looking for a player that can play on the left, can play on the right, can play in the centre. They're looking for very versatile players. So this is part of Ruben Amorim's philosophy, that a player who comes in has to be able to play a number of positions on the pitch, so that when we're in problems, when adversity strikes, we can bring in a player and play him on the left, or we could bring in a player and play him on the right, or play him as an attacking midfielder or as a second striker, for example. And that, I think these are very, very similar things. And it gives you an idea of what Man United are looking for. Because when you look at Semenyo and you look at Kenan Yildiz, apart from the 5-year age gap, you've got they both can play on the left. They both can play on the right. They both can play an attacking midfield centre. They both can play as a second striker as well. And this gives you a clue as to what kind of player and ilk of player and profile of player Manchester United are looking at the moment, of course. So yeah, I like to look at this, and I like to, when I bring in these names, and it's exactly the same with Keith Smith. It's exactly the same with these type of players that Man United are being linked with. Of course, it gives you an idea of where our priorities are and what kind of profile we're looking at the moment. I am a little bit concerned, and I'll tell you why I'm concerned, guys. I'm concerned by the fact that we're not being linked at the moment strongly. Of course, we're linked with Anderson, we're linked with Adam Wharton and other midfielders. But right now, with 10 days to the transfer window opening, we are not being linked heavily with any midfielders. And I think that is an absolute big mistake at the moment. Casemiro, quite obviously, respect to Casemiro. He's been a generational player for many, many years. Respect to Casemiro. But Casemiro, guys, is on his last legs. I'll be honest, guys. He's on his last legs. And, there's only so much that Casemiro could do in this, again, in this Man United team, because I'm looking at it and I'm thinking he looks knackered, everything. He can only last 60 minutes. We have Ugarte, who's, the question marks are over Ugarte, but maybe, guys, and I want to be a little bit more fair, and I want to look at things. I always look at things, guys, on the human level. I look at it on the human level, and I look at Ugarte, and I think maybe this is a time where we need to, look after Ugarte. Maybe he's struggling. It's quite obvious he's struggling, and every time he walks into that football team inconsistently, he's performing poorly in a way, Now, that could be a number of factors. That could be the fact that he's playing next to Bruno, who's nowhere near a number 8, in my opinion. That obviously affects him. It doesn't help him. You need to build a bit of camaraderie with the two players in midfield, of course. And when you're rotating all the time, you can't really get that feel for the game, of course. But when you play for Man United, it's just like Roy Keane said, do something, make something happen, look after yourself, look after your own performance. And I absolutely agree with Roy Keane, by the way, what he said about Kobe Mainoo. I agree 100% what he said. He spoke the gospel there. On the overlap, they've got a tendency to back players too much. They back the players too much, in my opinion. And he's absolutely right. When everyone else is playing poor, you look after your own performance. You make sure that your performance is better than everyone else's. Well, I don't have that mentality and say, look, everyone's playing badly, so it's not difficult for me to shine, is it? It's not difficult. If everyone else is playing badly, it's not difficult to shine, isn't it? If there was a patch of green grass on a field of dead weed, you're gonna see the green grass, right? That is exactly what I'm talking about, So if you look after your own performance, right, you will shine more, and you have an opportunity to shine more, and you have an opportunity for everyone to say, well, look, Kobe Mainoo played excellent though, isn't it? And that's the same with Ugarte. And I know, and I'm going to look after Ugarte, because I do think that we have a tendency as well to jump on players. Ugarte has not come out in the media, social media. Brother hasn't sat there with a T-shirt, hasn't done anything ridiculous, right? He's put his head down and he's got on with his business and he's got on with the game, and he's played football for Manchester United. And that's all we can hope for him at the end of the day, and that's all we can ask for at the end of the day. However, his performances have not been up to scratch. And this is why Man United are desperate to bring in some midfielders. And at least I hope they are. At least I hope they are anyway. Now, there is obviously talk about Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher would be a perfect stopgap option for Man United in January. Now, if Man United went out and purchased Semenyo and brought in a Conor Gallagher, I don't think that would be a bad idea. I'll be honest with you guys. Look, I'm not going to be spoiled either, because I'm looking at it and thinking January, Man United notoriously don't do business in January and things like that. So I'm not gonna be spoiled and be self-entitled and things like that in regards to players that we could possibly bring in. If we brought in Conor Gallagher and we brought in Antoine Semenyo in January, I wouldn't be opposed to that, guys. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Would you? I think that would be absolutely, a very, very decent January window, if you ask me, and probably one of the best windows we've had. I mean, of course, we signed Bruno Fernandes in January, didn't we? It was, big signing, obviously a game-changing signing, of course, guys. But yeah, I wouldn't say no to Conor Gallagher and Semenyo. That's what I'm saying. Absolutely not. Let me say hello to the community. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Hope everyone is blessed, of course, guys. Hope everyone is good. Good to see everyone in the house, of course, guys. Morning, Benny. What's going on, my brother? Hope you're doing well. Good to see Benny in the house. Hope you're doing good. Absolutely. Good to see everyone, guys. Good to see everyone. Absolutely. Good to see Sanjay in the house. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, Sanjay. Hope you're well. Big up, Stephen. Hope you're good, my friend. Hope you're good. Good to see you, mate. Good morning. Good morning. Big up, Sal. Big up. Slices of Sib. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see Slices of Sib in the house. Sam. Big up, Sam. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're well. Sal, how are you? Very well. Good to see you. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing good, my guy. Of course. Hope you're doing well. Of course. Everyone, I hope everyone is good. Big up Daryl, the legend. What's going on, my friend? Hope Daryl is doing good, of course, guys. Big up Daryl in the house, of course, guys. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the stream, guys. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much, guys. You're absolute legends for joining me today on this Thursday morning. Are you looking forward to Christmas? Whether you support, whether you celebrate or not, who is looking forward to Christmas, guys? I wonder who's looking forward to Christmas. Well, I've got the lights up and stuff. I am in Italy at the moment, so guys. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate everyone who's enjoying, who's here with me on this Thursday morning, of course, guys. Absolutely. Big up everyone. Slices of Sib. I'm not feeling this Semenyo deal. Some of us might get disappointed if he chooses City. He's actually more likely to, at the moment, to go to Liverpool. At the moment, this is what I'm hearing. Do you know what I mean? And he's more likely to go to Liverpool than anything else. You know, I would say, guys, I totally get you, Slices Sib. I get you. I understand why people are feeling, and obviously the pessimism in regards to the deal. I understand that Man United's priorities should not be on a player like Semenyo, which is the cherry on the icing on the cake, if you know what I mean. We're making a cake without the sponge. Do you know what I mean? We're concentrating on the cherry and the icing rather than the sponge. You know, I mean, any analogy as you want, and that's the only concern that I would have about that. That's the concerns that I will have about that, of course. Do you know what I mean? Benny, good morning. I'd be more interested in signing centre midfield media. I agree with Benny here. I do. I mean, I've said it over the years. When I started watching football, I learned that, and I started playing football. Of course, I played for Hornchurch and I played for semi-pro. Didn't get to the level that I would like to get to level, but I played semi-pro and stuff like that. And guys, and what I would say about football is that the midfield is the engine of the team. The midfield is where games are won and lost. You know, there's a couple of things, right? Keeping clean sheets is one thing. As Sir Alex Ferguson said, the old chestnut right there. You know, you win games with attack, you win titles with defense and stuff like that. But what I would say is that the midfield, you look at every great team around the world in the history of football, always had a midfield, if you know what I mean. And we don't really. If I was an opposition player and I'm looking at Casemiro and Bruno, if I'm a young up-and-coming player, you know, I'd be looking at that and thinking, we can win that midfield. We can win that midfield. And if we win that midfield, you know what? We can win the game. Because once we bypass that midfield, we're in here. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. That's the sort of feeling I got from the Bournemouth game, is that Bournemouth were winning that midfield. You know what I mean? They were winning that midfield, you know? Absolutely. Slices of Sib, good morning. I say we go for midfielders, and if we can get CC win back, absolutely. Big up Slices of Sib, hope you're well. Big up Arman, good morning, hope you're well, my friend, hope you're well, good to see you. We need midfielders, brother. Semenyo ain't gonna play right wing. Right, exactly what I said, Daryl, spot on. It's something that I mentioned weeks, you know, Daryl, we've been talking about it for weeks. Semenyo doesn't want to play left wing back. He's already clarified that. He wants to play an attacking role. He doesn't want to play the left wing back position. Of course, it's not so much a left wing back. Man United do play wingers, but when you're playing in that side of the pitch, you do have to track back, because obviously they can get it over the top and you'll be left exposed. So as an Ahmad or as a Semenyo, you still have to track back and you still have to do your groundwork in regards to that. You know, even though it isn't traditionally a wing back, Semenyo has openly said, just like Giovanni Quenda, who played for Sporting Lisbon, played under Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim made him. Ruben Amorim is the reason there is a Giovanni Quenda. Of course, Giovanni Quenda, I think he's signing for Chelsea in January. I'm not sure about it. I'll have to clarify. But he has already signed for Chelsea. He is a Chelsea player. So he's going to Chelsea. Now, Giovanni Quenda did not want to sign for Manchester United under Ruben Amorim because he did not want to play the wing back. That's it. There you go, guys. He did not want to play the wing back. And this is the same thing with Semenyo. Semenyo wants to play an attacking sort of left wing sort of thing, you know, or a number 10 or a striker sort of thing. Now, it would be a luxury signing for Man United. Do Man United need luxury signings? And this is the thing. We have to look at things in a mature way. And guys, as a fan of Semenyo, a big fan of Semenyo, I would love Semenyo at the football club. But more importantly, I want what's best for our balance, right? And when I was growing up watching football, when I was young, I had the same sort of thing. I used to think like, oh, Man United are signing this player. I don't want that player. I don't need that player. You know, for example, when Man United signed Dwight York back in 1998, right? At the beginning of the 98-99 season, I was like, Dwight York, we can get Batstuta, we can get Patrick Kluivert, we can get all these players. We can do that, we can do that. But not knowing that Dwight York is the missing piece of the puzzle. He fits the piece of the puzzle. And lo and behold, he fit the piece of the puzzle. I think that's what Man United need to look at, and fans need to look at that. Semenyo is a piece of the puzzle that we already have. You know what I mean? It's a bit like, you know, when you're younger, you have the stickers or the cards, and you go, got, need, got. We got that sort of player. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And that's what we need midfielders. We need midfielders. And we need wing backs, of course. Now, Semenyo came out and said, look, I'm happy to play left wing back. I'm happy to play right wing back. Fantastic. Brilliant. You know what I mean? Then bring him in. However, I would say that he is a right footer by trade. Are we going to shoehorn Semenyo into his less favoured position, even though he can play it, into left midfield? And that's what I would say, you know? And we have to look at things from all different angles, guys, you know? And look, you know, if Man United signed Anderson, if Man United signed Adam Wharton, if Man United signed Carlos Baleba, if Man United signed these players first, and then we went on and bought Semenyo, happy days, guys. Happy days. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. Stephen, is there already really a spot for Semenyo at the other top four clubs who does it to start front of Chelsea, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal? There is a room for him at United, but we definitely... Now, I would say, Stephen, that Salah will be leaving Liverpool, right? This is what I believe. I believe Salah will be leaving Liverpool. Semenyo could potentially replace Salah. That's what that's the theory that I'm giving on it. I think that Semenyo could be a replacement for Mohamed Salah. I think that is what could happen. That's what we have to look at, and we have to think about it. Do you know what I mean? Because he plays on the right, Semenyo. Salah plays on the right. Salah leaves, Semenyo in there. Perfect swap, isn't it? This is why Liverpool are looking at doing business in the summer for Semenyo. In regards to January, teams can do the groundwork in regards to signing players. Man United could possibly sign Semenyo in January, but Bournemouth would be reluctant to sell Semenyo in January. Of course, why would they sell their prize asset in January? You know, it's going to leave them, you know, with their league up in tatters. You know what I mean? Even though they get a lot of money from it, it's not easy to replace players in January. And Liverpool will be happy to do the deal in the summer because they got Mohamed Salah right now. And they'll be happy to do the deal in the summer. This is why Liverpool will be more favourites to sign Semenyo. And this is why, because they can offer him the winger position in that front three, right? And they can also offer him, you know, his favourite position as well. He's on the right-hand side. You know what I mean? There you go. That's why. Big up, Stephen. Ephraim. Good morning, Ephraim. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Big up, Benny. What's going on? I'm glad you mentioned this about Semenyo. Is the deal already done? I was thinking about this yesterday also. The deal's not done, mate. No. Man United have not agreed a 65 million deal for Semenyo. Not yet, anyway. We are in talks with Semenyo. We are in talks with his representatives. We are in talks with his entourage. But we have not agreed a deal with Bournemouth. No. And as we know with Mbeumo and players like that, we know that you can agree all you want with the player and you can agree the deal from months and months ago. If you don't agree with the football club, you're not going anywhere at the end of the day. And that's one thing I would say. We haven't agreed, contrary to deal close. So that the deal is not close. Let me tell you that right now. There's a lot of people out there who don't have sources of saying that the deal is close. The deal is not close. We are in a battle for Semenyo. If Man United wants Semenyo, they're going to have to overcome various football clubs, not just in England, but in Europe as well. We're going to have to overcome various other football clubs before we even mention deal close. We are literally in talks at the moment. We're in the talk stage with Semenyo. Nothing has been done. Nothing signed, sealed, delivered at the moment. You can play your Stevie Wonder all you want. Signed, sealed, delivered, but definitely not done at the moment. Absolutely not. Big up, Jamie. What's going on, my friend? Still our Semenyo plus Baleba and Anderson summer. Happy days. Jamie, bloody hell. Jamie, that would be absolutely fantastic, mate. We managed to sign all those players. Bloody hell. God blimey. Title charge. Here we come, title charge. Yeah, I mean, morning, Jamie. Jamie, you are the bearer of positivity this morning, and you just said something very beautiful there. It's like writing a lovely little letter to me. That's what it is at the end of the day, guys. Absolutely, but still a Semenyo Belabor. Goodness me, would that be an absolutely game-changing window, wouldn't it, Jamie? You know, at the end of the day, do you know what I mean? And I would look at that midfield, and I'll be with chest with Man United. I'm already chest with Man United, but I'll be with chest Man United, believing that Man United could actually do something. But yeah, in our dreams at the moment, never say never with Man United, but I don't trust Ineos to do something like that, Jamie. That's just how I feel at the end of the day. They've got to prove to me, help me to help you. Help me to help you, as Tom Cruise once said in Jerry Maguire. Help me to help you. That is what I want with Ineos. Help me to believe in you. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Exactly. And they have to help me to believe in them. But remember, if they did something like that, a Stiller, you know, a Semenyo, a Belabor, an Anderson, bloody hell. Yeah, look, guys, you know what I mean? I'll say, listen, I would applaud on it. I will come on this stream and say, do you know what? I was wrong about Ineos. I was wrong about them. They do care about the football club. I would do that at the end of the day. However, I will not forgive them for facilitating the Glazers and stuff like that. I would never forgive them for that one. No. But I would come on here and I'll praise them for doing the work. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Fat Boy Slim, praise you like I should. And I will praise you like I should, because at the end of the day, if you've done a deal like that, Jamie, it'll be absolute game changer for me. Now, we all know we need Anderson. We need 2 midfielders minimum. You know, and if we sign Semenyo as well, and you're looking at a very, very tasty lineup, isn't it, guys? Absolutely. Bon appetit. It will be absolutely tasty, wouldn't it, guys? Absolutely. Big up, Jamie. Big up, Reynoso. Mr. Reynoso, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're blessed. Big up the California Massive. What's going on, man? Yo, Sal, per yesterday's question, 60 minutes east of Los Angeles, Semenyo, east of Los Angeles. So I think that's not Sacramento area. I'm not sure. Semenyo, if in addition to a midfielder, I am in. But if instead of, I'm not, unless they aren't buying one in January either way. In addition, yeah, this is exactly an intelligent comment from Renee. So here, brilliant comment, because it's exactly my feelings. You echo me, mate. If they sign a midfielder, in addition, Semenyo was in addition to a midfielder, absolutely, because we fixed the midfield and we're bringing, it's like, as I said, the cherry on the icing on the cake. It's like you bring in a midfielder and then you bring in Semenyo. Then you're looking at the team and thinking, oh, you know, this team is pretty tasty. We're starting to get better now. Things are starting to look good. Things are starting to progress in regards to the way our squad looks and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? I would say that. And then, you know what? If they bring in a Keenan Yildiz on this and that, guys, like, oh my goodness me. You know what I mean? I would say title charge. I would say it with chest, of course, but absolutely. Man United, we're not asking for miracles here, right? Man United just need to fix that midfield first. Anderson in the game, right? Belabor or Walton in the game, okay? Yavi Guerra, Lamine Camara, Lucien Agume in the game, right? Someone like that. Yorogiza in the game from Athletic Bilbao. One of these. Kone from Roma. There are Stiller from Stuttgart. You know, why don't we fix that midfield? You know what I mean? And there are a number of different options we can have in that midfield. We can bring in, obviously, you have a base, right? The 2 bases for me are Walton and Anderson. One of them, okay? Perfect. And then you think, all right, Belabor, Stiller, Yavi Guerra, Yorogiza, Kone, and you think about all the players around Europe who we could possibly sign, right? And then you bring in one of those. And then you fix that. And then you think, okay, now what's going to get us better on the wings? And you think, oh, well, Semenyo. But then does Semenyo want to play as a wing back? You know what I mean? And we have to look at that as well. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we need players who want to play in those positions as well. And we need players that can perform in those positions and not be disgruntled every time they're put in a left wing back position and have to track back and do their defensive work, of course, guys. And that is a big thing. But I absolutely agree with Mr. Reynoso here. Absolutely. The Semenyo should be in an addition to midfielder. It should be an addition to the midfielder, not just Semenyo and that's it. And we forget about the midfield and stuff. Big up, Reynoso. Hope you're well, my friend. Absolutely good to see you. Benny, when United get that tin hat, the next level, we won't have Ahmad, Bruno, Maguire, Shaw, Dalot. Unfortunately, some people find it hard to comprehend. When United get tin hat, what's the next level? We won't. When United get to that next level, I should say, we won't have Ahmad, Bruno, Maguire, Shaw, Dalot. Unfortunately, some people find that hard to comprehend. Some people can't let go. And one thing about the Man United fan base is that we're very, very nostalgic, and we hold on to things because we think we can't get any better. That's not how you win things. Let me just tell you that. That's not how you become successful. We've let go great players in the past. Yacht Stam, David Beckham, Steve Bruce, you name it. We've let them go. Paul Ince. We've let these players go, guys. Mark Hughes. We can go on, can't you? Paul McGrath. We go even more back. You know, we've let Gordon Strachan. We've let lots of players go. And part of Man United is that it's Man United, not one player. Pogba FC, Bruno FC, whoever it is, Martial FC, whoever it is. We have this toxic virus where we have more fans of players than they are of the actual football club. So if I say to someone of them, I said, right, if Man United sign Bruno, no, you can't sell Bruno. No, we're not selling Bruno. Who is going to place him with? Look at his goals and assists. We'll get relegated. No, we won't get relegated. It's such a dumb opinion. Look, I like Ian Wright, but what he said yesterday was not true. If Bruno Fernandes weren't playing for Man United, they'll get relegated. No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't. And let me tell you why. Because the thing is, you can tell that these people are not managers of football clubs, because they don't really understand what happens when you remove something at the end of the day. You know, it's a bit like a luxury player, Bruno, right? So you can have a luxury player. There's no point, as I said, having all the sweetness on the cake. And I'm mentioning cakes a lot today, guys. It's going to make me hungry. But there's no point mentioning all the sweetnesses on the cake, all the icing on top and the cherries, if your base is bland. Is bland. If you got no sponge and it's all hard and it's all it doesn't say exactly that. Do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, that's what we have. So if Man United concentrated on the base and concentrated on the balance, Man United will be in a lot better position. It's different. It's a bit like when Coutinho left Liverpool and Liverpool were better, even though Coutinho had some of the best stats going. Do you know what I mean? Good morning, Tybo. Guys, I want to say that I've lost all my monetization things. They've gone, so I'm gonna re-monetize everyone, guys. Sorry about that, guys, because there was a problem with YouTube yesterday, so I had to reset everything, guys. So the monetization thing, I'm gonna do that, of course, guys. So just let me know, guys. Anyone want to be a monitor stuff? I'm gonna put Tybo back on and stuff like that. But we lost a lot of subscribers and stuff for some reason. It was weird yesterday. Big up, Tybo. Good to see you. Good morning, Tybo. Hope you're well. Good to see you again. I hope your family are well. I haven't heard from you in quite a while. I was going to message you, mate. I haven't had Facebook. I haven't had anything like that in the last week or so because my phone is dead. I had to literally reset my phone and delete everything and reset. And I lost all my photos and everything like that. It's ridiculous. Sam, to me, I love the prospect of having Semenyo in our team, but the main concern is the midfield. Yeah, exactly. Our midfield is terrible. We need good midfielders to complement our attack. Wouldn't it be brilliant, Sam, if we got a midfield and Semenyo? We're Man United. We should be really going after both of them, isn't it? At the end of the day, we should really be trying to sign both of them. And Semenyo is a very dangerous player. We saw that the other night. He's a fantastic player. But you're absolutely right. And this is what I like, a mature conversation with this community. We have to have a mature conversation with this. We have to think about things on a way that, we can't be player FC. We can't be just, I want to sign him and that's it. I don't want to sign anyone else, because at the end of the day, Semenyo is going to cost 65, 70 million. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So that would go a long way in getting Elliot Anderson, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? If it comes to the sun, let me give you an example, right? If it comes to January and we say we want Elliot Anderson and Nottingham Forest say 80 million. Oh, but we just spent 65 on Semenyo. Damn. You know what I mean? This is the thing. And we can't afford it. So what is the most priority? Now, guys, let me just bring this into the show, right? We got the AFCON coming up on Sunday. Of course, guys. I'm doing Morocco against Comoros on Sunday, guys. Join me for that one, guys. We got the AFCON coming up on Sunday, and we are going to be missing an attacking player in Mbremo. We're going to be missing, obviously, Ahmad as well. It would be good for that. Semenyo coming in January would be good because we'd be missing these players. But obviously, between the 21st and the 1st of January, 21st of December and the 1st of January, we won't be able to sign anyone. But in January, we will be. And, it'd be great if we brought in Semenyo in January. Let's wait and see what happens. I mean, let's wait and see. Would rather get midfielders. Me too, mate. At the moment, fix the midfield. Sal, we need midfielders so badly. We do. Big up. We do, mate. Big up, Ephraim. Tyborg, seems like despite the rumours, we will do some business. Well, I hope so. Fingers crossed. Hopefully, the owners understood we need players right now. It's a big test, Tyborg. You know what I would say. Absolutely great comment. It's a big test for Ineos. Because this will clarify to us what they actually aim for, what they want. Do they want success on the football pitch, or do they want business? That's it. And they want to fill up their pockets. Ruben Amorim needs backing. He does. It's pretty evident. We don't have a squad. Now, when you look at the results of Man United over the last few weeks and you look at all the draws, right? Just a couple of wins here and there, right, would have elevated Man United all the way up into the top 3, right? If we had a midfielder, one midfielder more, or one more left wing back or left winger, will Man United be up the league? Pretty certain Man United be right at that league. You know, Man United probably be challenging for the league title. Do you know what I mean? We are this close, guys, you know, to where we want to be. This close, but Ruben Amorim needs to be backed in January. Ruben Amorim needs to be backed. We're not as far away as people think, but we are far away if they don't have aspirations in backing Ruben Amorim. You know what I mean? Because we're going to carry on getting the 2-2s, the 1-1s, the 0-0s, the 1-0 losses. And we're going to keep going on that cycle. So we'll be taking 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, which is the Man United dance, of course, which has been over the last year and stuff. So what Man United need to do is like, okay, we are in touching distance of the top 4. We're in touching distance of the top 4. How are we going to progress? And what will it take? That is what the mentality should be. Not, you know what, we're in the top 4, so we're fine. We're fine. We're near the top 4. We're 2 points from 4th place. We're fine. We don't need to sign anyone. And that is the worry for me in regards to Ineos. That's the worry for me. The mentality. What kind of mentality do they have? Glass half full, glass half empty. And that's what I would say at the end. Big up, Tybo. Good to see you, my friend. Sam, it is good to have many attackers, but also still have many midfielders and defenders because all the priority, is it, Sam? Priority, isn't it? You can have many midfielders, many attackers, but if you've got many attackers and 2 midfielders and that's it, and that is it, and one of them isn't even a number 8, and the other one is dead on his legs and he's past his best, then it's very naive, isn't it? If I've got debts up to my eyeballs and I got loads of loans or loads of, I've got my mortgage to pay. If I've got my mortgage to pay, right, am I going to pay the mortgage? If I've got a bunch of money, right, I've just got this money, I can either pay the mortgage or I can go out and buy myself a car, right? What are you going to do? You're going to pay your mortgage, right? Obviously, keep a roof over your head, isn't it? Right? If you go and buy the car, we didn't need a car. We already got a car outside. Why are you buying another car? You know what I mean? We've got a car outside. We need the mortgage paid. We need the roof over our head. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. You have to be priority to firstly what you need and build the first team first. So you have the first team there. And then you can add all those elegancies on it. You can buy yourself another car down the line. Do you know what I mean? You can get that Gucci suit that you've always wanted and things like that. You can do things like that. But you have to firstly build your foundations first. You have to build the foundations and say, like, this is what we have, right? Our foundations are built and now we're comfortable. We can go on that 5-star package holiday now. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I would look at it. I'm all the analogies under the sun, guys, definitely. Speaking of holidays. Benny, this is another spin exercise by the Glazers and Ineos. Give them Semenyo and then it's a case of, we gave you that player and you can sign midfielders until the summer. So why don't they just sign a midfielder in January? I mean, that's it. But obviously, I do understand what Ruben Amorim's looking at. I do think Man United are looking at the AFCON. I think they're looking at the attacking players that are going to be missing in Bremo and Ahmad. But Man United need to go out and spend in January. I guarantee you, right? Man City will spend in January. Chelsea will spend in January. Liverpool probably spend in January as well. And Liverpool have already spent $500 million, right? I guarantee you that they will spend, right? And they won't just spend on one player. They buy 2 or 3 players, right? Man United, if they really want to succeed, will bring in a couple of players, a midfielder and an attacker in January. That would be absolutely fantastic. Even if we manage to get Conor Gallagher through the door, right, and got Semenyo, I think that will be acceptable. And that will actually be quite good for Man United. You know what I mean? Because then you have legs in the midfield and you have someone like Conor Gallagher, who's extremely underrated, in my opinion. Then you can wait until the summer and say, okay, now we can get Anderson. And then hopefully by that time, Gallagher's fitting in very well. Semenyo's fitted in very well. We're already winning games. And then you can bring in an Elliot Anderson. Do you know what I mean? It's very easy to do that. You know, when Alex Ferguson used to have the success with his team and stuff, we were winning every time. It wasn't hard to bring in players. Like, for example, you bring in a Berbatov just to add that little bit of spice to it, that little bit of dimension to Man United. You bring in a Berbatov, someone like that. Do you know what I mean? You bring in a Rooney like that. You meant just to complement the team, and it slowly build the team. And when Alex Ferguson used to build teams, and he built about 3 or 4 teams, you used to see what Alex Ferguson was doing. You used to know what we needed. You know, in 1998-99, we needed a centre-back. We got Stam. In 1998-99, we needed another striker. We got Dwight York. You know what I mean? In 1996-97, we needed another striker. Like, we got Teddy Sheringham. You know, and it was always like that. Do you know what I mean? And we always say what we needed, and we generally got what we needed. Do you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? At the end of the day, big up Benny, big up. Tybog, Gaweki said exactly what we all think. This main situation is by itself was wrong. It's exactly what is wrong with Man United. It's exactly the Rashford situation reincarnated. It's a duplicate of what Marcus Rashford is at the end of the day, run by his brother, his agent, and also incompetence and unprofessionalism on the sidelines. And Roy Keane was spot on. And I don't like the way Gary Neville and Ian Wright, pro player FC, when he blatantly disrespected the football club. You know, I'm telling you right now, Gary Neville was a successful player for Man United, but anyone could have played in that left-back position. Wes Brown played in the left-back position, and right-back position, and wasn't even a right-back and played that position in the Champions League final, got an assist. So Gary Neville's position was not like, oh my goodness me. And he was backed up by David Beckham and Cristiano Ronaldo for a very long time, guys, right? So one thing I would say, okay, is that he needs to just shut up. And I'll tell you that right now. He just needs to shut up. And guys, this guy has disrespected the football club, right? It's embarrassed the football club. Gary Neville should come out and apologize rather than trying to back up unprofessionalism. Like Roy Keane said, Kobe Mainoo is 20 years old. Earn your trade at the end of the day. I don't care what you did in your first season. You're only as good as your last game. And this is how football should always be. It's disgraceful, you know? Dave, people already glazing Højlund. Do people not notice how dross the Serie A is? Cause the spaces and chances he's being afforded to run in and behind. Couldn't even try in the Premier. Serie A is not as strong as it used to be. I agree, Dave. Obviously, you look at Jamie Vardy, who's kicking in goals there, was player of the month the last month, wasn't he? At the end of the day, look, you know, what I would say is that Serie A is nowhere near what it used to be. And just like McTominay, just like obviously Rasmus Højlund, it is the same thing. The league is not good enough. The league is not good. It's not the Premier League. The Premier League is the creme de la creme, guys. You know, I want to be honest and I want to be realistic and I want to be fair. But I would say that in the Premier League, any team up to 10th place could win Serie A. Could win Serie A. I would even go lower, guys. I think Newcastle could win Serie A easily. And not being harsh, or not being cruel on Serie A, because guys, you know where I am at the moment? I'm in Naples. Napoli won yesterday 2-0 against AC Milan. I'm in Naples. And I would say that Serie A is probably the weakest it's ever been, if I'm being honest with you. And when you look at European performances over the last, 15 years, it's evident how many Italian clubs go to the latter stages. The only one we can remember was Atalanta. You know, that was the only one, you know, which was a freak at the end of the day. And when you look at AC Milan, you look at Napoli, you look at Roma, you look at Lazio, you look at Inter Milan, you look at all these teams. Inter Milan, yeah, look, they're good, all right. But you know what? If I was drawn against Inter Milan in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, I'd be like, that's good. We'll win that. Yeah, I mean, and that's how I would feel. But and I'm not being harsh, I'm not being critical of the Serie A, but it isn't again. I think Man United will win Serie A easily. You know, that's what I would say. I think they'll win. If Man United wins Serie A right now, we'll be dominant. That's what I would say. Serie A, look, and this, I would say also in their defense, it is a different style of football. There is such a thing as, it doesn't matter about the league, but it's also about the style of football. The style of football suits Rasmus Højlund. But as you said there, Dave, there is a lot more space. There is a lot more time on the ball. It's not like the old days in Italy where they used to have magnificent defenders back in the day. It's not like them days anymore, unfortunately. Stephen, we need new players all over the pitch. Lo, Shaw, Maguire, Casemiro, Dalot, Ugarte all need to go. They do, absolutely. Big up Tyborg, of course. I saw people defend Mainoo's shenanigans. Every day we are being shown that Player FC and Glazer sympathizers are deep-rooted in this club. We struggle to move forward and improve because of this mentality. Spot on, Dave. The people who are backing Kobe Manu. Now, there are some smart people out there. Mark Goldbridge is one of them, of course, who changed his mind, right? He changed his mind about Manu. And why do people change their mind about Manu? Now, this could have been one big accident. Kobe Manu didn't know about it. He was unaware of it and stuff like that. And Kobe Manu's brother, wore it and he didn't know about it, right? That could have been a situation. But what is key here? Kobe Manu coming out in the media and clarifying this, saying, look, I didn't know my brother would do that. I didn't know he was going to do that. I've had a word with him and I apologize to Manchester United, the manager and the fans for that because it had nothing to do with me. Game over. Done. What did he do? He liked an Instagram post from Goldstein, whatever his name is. You know what I mean? Goldstein, idiot. You know what I mean? Guys, and wearing a T-shirt of Free Kobe Manu. And if that is true, I've seen the picture. If that is not AI and things like that, then you know what? Absolutely disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. And again, it epitomizes where we are as a football club. And this is something I've been banging on from beginning. Culture at the football club. Mentality at the football club. People think I was just giving you buzzwords here. The culture at the football club is disgusting. Asbestos FC. I've said it. Derelict building FC. That's what Man United are at the end of the day. We look pretty from the outside, but when you go inside, boy, oh boy, it's toxic. Goodness me, it's like walking into a haunted house. Do you know what I mean? We might as well put a bloody scary roller coaster ride in Old Trafford. Might make some money. It's bloody scary at the end of the day. That's what we should be doing because at the end of the day, you can look at Old Trafford and you think, wow, this is a nice spectacle. What history. Go inside, bloody hell. You know what I mean? Potholes everywhere, rats everywhere, asbestos everywhere. And, this is what I would talk about. And the players represent this. These players represent everything that has been wrong with Man United. And that's what I'm saying. And then you've got the fans who back it. Honestly, if they back this, and they're not backing him because footballing reasons, guys. They're backing him because they've made an opinion about somebody and they don't want to change it because they lack the intelligence to change that opinion. They lack the intelligence to change, that because of their ego, and that's what I would say about that. And it is disgraceful. It is disgraceful that we got some of these people in the fan base, who do these kind of things. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's ridiculous. It's embarrassing. Big up, Benny. Great poster. Much emphasis put on not hurting players. This is Manchester United one. Absolutely. Big up, Dan. Good morning, guys. Hope you're doing well. Morning, Sal. Unless Ineos is blind this January, transfer window has got to be about getting CM at least a loan deal minimum. I agree with Dan there. Very smart comment, my guy. Very, very smart comment, guys. Absolutely. Big up everyone, guys. Big up everyone in the stream. I hope you're all doing well. Stephen Loughton, how you doing? We could only sign Semenyo if we could play Cunha as a centre forward and play Dorgu behind Semenyo and Adam Wharton would be definite signing for me. Maybe. You never know, Stephen, what they're going to do. Of course, we have to wait and see what they're going to do. Big up, LT. How you doing, my friend? Big up, Sal. So between Neves, Gallagher and João Gomez, who would you prefer in January? So look at the most feasible. Can I be honest with you? Probably Neves, Ruben Neves, LT. That's what I'll probably go for. If I was to choose between one of those, it will be Neves, in my opinion. It would be Neves. Benny, seems to be a problem every time I go to post. It says I need to be subscribed more than a minute. Is it my side? No, Benny. What happens is that you click off that. When it says that, click off that. It goes back to normal. Click off that. It goes back to normal. It's not that you're unsubscribed. It's just that thing comes up where you're meant to, and it says join. Just click off that. I've done it on other people's streams. It happened to me. So you click off that, and it comes up normal. You're not unsubscribed. Definitely not. I actually liked Me Too, Oriking's take on the Manu situation, because many people, including Kobe himself, forget that he's just 20 and has got to improve, and Bruno and Cass will be gone soon. So where's the patience? Exactly, LT. My biggest annoyance is obviously Gary Neville and that, who are just so pro-play FC. It's ridiculous. Honest to God. It's ridiculous. Guys, it is ridiculous. They're so pro-player FC, it's mad. You know what I mean? Tyborg. As a Bundesliga fan, me too, mate, by the way, I can confirm that no league comes close to the Premier League. Bundesliga has better support, in my opinion. Yes, it does. Brilliant support. We are changing that, but we need to copy obviously the German mold in regards to that. But when it comes to football itself, Premier League miles ahead of everyone. It is. But, and that's why the Serie A, people do good in Serie A, I would say, however, that players coming from the Bundesliga at the moment, the bet and France is good. You always get the odd gem, but yeah, Florian Wirtz is struggling. Jose Ekitike is struggling, isn't he? At the end of the day, no, Ekitike. I wouldn't say Ekitike is struggling. I wouldn't say that. I think Florian Wirtz is struggling. That's obvious. He's a young lad, and again, you have to give these players a chance. You have to be fair with these players, don't you? At the end of the day, you do, guys. Big up Tyborg, you absolute legend, guys. I'm going to put the regulators. How do you say it? The regulators. I'm going to put all you monitors on there soon. I've lost all my monitors for some reason and stuff like that. And I'm going to put all you guys back on. Just bear with me, guys. Thank you, guys, because no one's a monitor at the moment. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate you. I will be back later on, guys. So put your notifications on. Don't forget to smash a like, guys. 50 likes, guys. Come on. If you haven't smashed a like, it's 80 in the house now. I should have 80 likes in theory, shouldn't I, guys? Come on, guys. Smash a like on the video. Put your notifications on. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you're lurking in the distance, in the shadows and all that, be absolutely fantastic, guys. I'm Sal Warner, and this is Breaking Dawn. I'll see you later, guys. Take it easy. Have a good day. Peace.